Hey everyone, hope you're doing great and had a fantastic holiday and a good new year if you're watching this after I recorded it, which is the day before New Year's Eve, so it's possible you might catch it beforehand. Hope everyone's doing well and living healthy. This is a follow-up video to a video I made a couple months ago, roughly a month or two ago from now, about my INCOG holster and how it was putting holes in my pants because of the secondary clip, which has the, I think they refer to it as the Super Mojo adapter. And that's been part of the issue. The other issue was that I have been carrying appendix a lot more in the last year and want to do so even more going forward. And using two clips, as you can see, with this holster here, with this crappy belt, which I will address in just a moment, it's kind of difficult to adjust when you have the belt buckle and your belt loops, depending upon which pants you're wearing, where they're spaced out at. It's been a bit frustrating. So these holsters by G-Code over at tacticalholsters.com have been very, very good. This one for my Glock 19, I didn't use a whole lot. I carried this probably 20% of the time over the last few years. This M&P Shield, I've used this specific holster for a little over 5 years. I did a 2-year review on this holster 3 years ago on my YouTube channel, and I've still been using it up until fairly recently. No knock against the holster, the craftsmanship, everything else has been fantastic. It's just my needs have changed. So I went out looking for more holsters. I have received 2 of them. I have another one that I'm waiting to be sent. I ordered from Mike over at Last Line of Defense. Also ordered a new belt. So we'll talk about the belt for just a moment. This isn't a belt video, but this is a crappy $15 nylon 511 belt. And I'll demonstrate that even though it's crappy and flexible, it still holds everything just fine. The holster doesn't move. I can pull up on the holster and the clips retain. Now, it is important to know that you should use a quality belt. This is kind of not an issue because there's 2 clips holding it down, and there's a lot of, this is a light gun, and so it's not gonna move around too much, but depending upon where you carry and what type of firearm you're carrying, you're gonna want a good belt. I traditionally actually just use leather belts, to be honest with you. I wear business casual most of the time. I wear other belts when I'm wearing jeans, kind of like this Boxer Tactical, which I really love this belt, but they stopped making them. It just has these, it's rubber, it's really easy to run through all your belt loops. It has a nice, clicking system that it uses these little divots, and you just lift up, take it off. I knew they were going out of business, and I ordered another one. This is the new one. I haven't even cut it to length yet, and I've just been kind of saving it because I know it's probably the last one I'll ever be able to get from them. I also have some other belts from Bushido Tactical, HSGI, SOE. One thing all these belts have in common is they all utilize the Cobra belt buckle. And I'm trying to move to the smaller one so it's easier to fit through the belt loops. All of these will work great for concealed carry and everyday carry. But I was demonstrating it with this cheaper nylon belt that's flexible just because I wanted to show you how great the holsters really are, even with like a not so great belt. So I've just recently been using and switched over to the Eclipse, which is kind of like the new version of these guys. And this is called the INCOG Eclipse. So I've got one for the M&P Shield and one for my Glock 19. And you'll notice, if I put the gun in the right holster, if you notice, they look pretty much the same. This one has a different Mojo adapter on top, but other than that, similar clips. They're angled out to push the firearm towards your body. Same retention screws to be able to hold down or adjust the retention for how much tension is holding the firearm in the holster. But what I like most about it is that with this single clip now, I can position this a lot easier right where I want to without the clips hitting the belt buckle or the belt loops. And they still retain the same purchase to the belt that I would need for drawing. It doesn't move at all. And then I'll kind of show a close-up of how these clips are angled to kind of grab underneath the belt, kind of almost towards the ceiling. So they're angled kind of up this way. So the belt is sliding in, and it works really well. By the way, all these firearms have been cleared prior to shooting this video, so we're always safe, but we always treat every firearm as if it were loaded. So part of the other thing that I wanted to do is use these holsters more in the training classes I plan on taking over the next 2 years, because I oftentimes would take training classes and use things like this Raven concealment holster, which is an outside the waistband, and it's kind of easy to use and it works well with other gear. But then I would, at the end of the class, I'd put my gun back in my inside the waistband holster and like go on with my life. And I want to change that. But I do like running a holster with a light, like I have, like this Streamlight TLR1HL, which is the high lumen output. Works well with this holster. So I like carrying a light. I also want to carry an extra magazine, but I'm trying not to have too much stuff and too much weight. The more weight you have, the more your pants will fall down, the heavier duty belt you're going to want to use. Also more difficult to carry in the summertime. But nonetheless, I still want to train with that. So I ordered another holster that's equipped to carry all that for Mike. And hopefully that works out well. I'm going to be using the Olight PL, Mini PL. So this holster is exactly the same for the Glock. It just has a similar setup as the previous holster. That's just a single clip. And I also went with a half guard this time instead of full, just to try something different. So these aren't reviews of the INCOG Eclipse. It's just kind of more the adaptation from going from more of a 330 position to appendix carry, especially the more as I lose more weight. My stomach will be less of a burden for my carry system. I've been going to the gym a lot more, just trying to eat healthier, get back into the swing of it. So I'll make it more comfortable carrying a larger gun up front. Smaller guns are always fairly easy to carry and conceal than a larger pistol, especially something that has a taller frame. It takes up more space. So I kind of do this like flip out when I sit. So if I sit down in the car or the truck, I kind of just flip out, and usually my shirt's over it. But they still conceal very well. Can't really, I mean, there's minor printing, but nothing that's too obvious to let people know that I've got a firearm under my shirt. This one kind of almost just totally disappears. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just kind of wanted to show you a little bit what I'm doing with the holster system and my everyday carry here. This is an evolution. I'll be doing a full review on these holsters after I've used them for at least probably 6 months or so. Right now I feel like it's a little premature, especially with this new design and the Super Mojo adapter they have on this particular INCOG for the M&P Shield. This is different than the previous model, but it seems pretty secure, and I don't think there's going to be any issues. It's totally secured with 2 screws all the way through, and then the third one here is for your retention, and then you've got your clip here, which you can adjust the depth by unscrewing these and moving this down, and you can also loosen it and kind of cant it side to side to change how you would carry it. And that goes to the same thing for the Glock holster as well. Pretty simple design. It's got the tactical fuzz on the outside, and yeah, it's injected molded plastic for the construction of the holster. It's been really reliable for me for the last 5+ years with this one, so I don't expect anything less out of these. Again, I'm just trying to change the position of where I carry and go to that single clip system instead of the 2. So if you have any questions or comments, definitely post them down below. I always read all the comments. I try to respond to all of them, even the trolls. I try to get to you. And let me know your thoughts. I really do like the fact that I can change the depth up and down where the top of the holster sits in relationship to my pant line. And that's pretty important to me because I like it lower, but yet the handle, I can still get a nice purchase on the entire handle if I, pull it out. So it's kind of like that balance in between that and just comfortability as well. So yeah, hope you all have had a great new year, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Appreciate any criticisms. I do get a lot of criticisms on my videos. That's okay. We learn and we grow from that. As other gear comes in, I'll be posting videos about that as well. I also have some gear coming in for my Tacoma, so I'll be posting some more videos soon on how I'm going to be rigging that out. I'm getting really excited about it, and I've got some plans I'm working on for the next couple of years that hopefully, well, I'll get to that later. So hope you all doing well. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'll stay frosty.